Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. The Jim Kuhlman Insurance Agency. Insurance for auto, home, renters, personal and business, life, health, and even your pets. Call Jim and his team at 541-753-2500. JimKuhlman.com. 85% of jobs and internships come from a strong network. The book, Networking for Students, is available from Amazon. Students with soft skills are more successful. Networking is a skill that will be used lifelong. Good networking skills instill confidence. Find the book at networkingforstudents.com. Guild Mortgage. Contact Buddy Puckett to find the loan that fits your life. Hundreds of loan products tailored to your needs. Guildmortgage.com and call Buddy at 503-851-8031. And now let's get on with the show.
Hey, here we are live on The Experience, live with Russ and Scott every Wednesday morning, and our other co-host, Kermie, joins us this morning for a little fun. So how you doing, Scott? Scott, you froze. You're frozen. Oh, well, there we go. We have Russ, Kermie, and a frozen Scott. There we go. All right. Well, listen, we're here on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott, and we're here every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and also 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time for those of you Texans and people in the Midwest. Also, we have some great information for you. All you have to do is go to the Experience, local.theexperience.video. There it's right on the screen, local.theexperience.video for more information on Scott and I, for more information on the show here, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott, and which is our flagship show. Also have information on the Experience Local every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time. And we have the Experience Backstage on Instagram only every Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time that leads into this show. So we would love for you to join all of those things. And we're thankful that you're here today. It's going to be a great day. And at some point, we're going to get Scott back. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube page. Now, first of all, you can find it at local.theexperience.video, our YouTube page. But if you want to go straight there, you can just go to the experience.video. The experience.video will take you directly to our YouTube page, and we would love to have you be part of that community. It's growing. It's becoming bigger, slowly but surely. We found out that my Beagle and my cat are way more popular than we are. So you can find them on YouTube Shorts. Lots of fun stuff there. But you know what? The experience of life, we get to experience amazing things, including our guest, Dr. Geoffrey Webster, who is an awesome individual. Love Geoffrey. So thankful to have him this morning. And Scott is back, I think. Hey, Scott. Well, he's kind of back. We can see him, but can he hear us? That's the question. No, he can't hear us. Okay. Are you there, Scott? Are you there, Scott?
I can hear you now.
Hey, there you are. All right. Well, we knew you'd come back at some point. So
Yeah.
How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, it's good. Who knows what happens with the tech. We're just getting rolling. We go through the intro video. You come on stage. I'm on stage. And then it's a blackout.
It's a blackout.
Who knows? So you just leave the room and come back in, and it's the typical IT solution. Turn it off, turn it back on. Right?
I'm telling you, that was the greatest thing I ever learned. People thought I was a genius just by doing that. And also making sure things are plugged in. The number one problem that I had as a computer network specialist helping other people with the computer network is it plugged in? And so many people, believe it or not, it just wasn't plugged in. And that's a major problem. So, hey, I want to remind everybody, don't forget our amazing sponsors, Networking for Students by D. Scott Smith, Guild Mortgage and Buddy Puckett and Jim Coleman and State Farm. We are also listener supported. You can scan this QR code or go to the link in the comments and the show notes, and you can give today to this ministry of getting great voices out there. That there is a cost behind all of these live streams. And if you are willing to help with any amount, it helps us put towards our amazing production, which mostly is led by the amazing Ever. She is crazy. She's amazing. And so we're so thankful for her. So, Scott, what do you got going on this week?
I was just thinking, make sure people, if they click that QR, if they click the link, they scan the QR code, be aware that most of what you're doing is supporting Ever. You are not contributing to Russ's Ferrari fund. So
only in my dreams. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a good week. Today's the last day of the month. First third of the year is now under our belt. And this is the 5th Wednesday of the month. And so I'm a part of a networking group, the Waco Networking Group. And we meet on the 1st and 3rd. And then when there's that 5th Wednesday, we just have a social time. So I'm looking forward to just a social time with the people of the group. We got about 50 members in the Waco Networking Group. It's been exploding in growth and just really great people. And I get to spend time with them on a social basis.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I love stuff like that. You know me. That is my thing. Being with people. I was in Corvallis yesterday, your old stomping ground, Scott, where you and I met. And I was there with some amazing people, networking and just really enjoying time. Went to a coffee after that, which is my favorite type of meeting. And even with my hearing troubles, I still love coffee shops. It makes it more difficult, but I love coffee shops.
Depends on the coffee shop. Our favorite one right downtown Salem is nice because it's not so, it doesn't reverberate quite as much.
I tell you, I take people to Devon and Kingdom City Coffee probably 99% of the time now for the two reasons. Number one, it's great coffee, great atmosphere, but way more quiet. And Devon is a small businessman. And all of you guys, our show Monday is about the experience local, supporting local business. And we can't forget that in this amazing global community. Don't forget to support local. And so I love to do that and support him. The other day when I took somebody in too, after I took them in, started meeting there. It was Tim Fandrich with the what's the name of his company? Something local. Anyway, it'll come to me. Anyway, his wife went in there and they have the absolute best, whatever her drink is, she thinks, in the whole city. So there you go. Yeah, good products.
Well, I tell you, every week we have the most remarkable people on the planet. Today we've got Dr. Geoffrey Webster, and I'm looking forward to hearing from him, learning about what's going on in his world, and getting more inspiration.
Yeah, Geoffrey is an amazing individual, and I think we just need to get him in here, get this ball rolling. Everybody, welcome Dr. Geoffrey. How's it going, Geoffrey?
Good morning, everyone.
Good to see you.
Good to see you all.
Yes, it is. You and I have had some amazing chats. You've been on one of my other live streams. You are such a great, great person, and I couldn't wait to get you on here for people to hear all your wisdom. So why don't you start off with a little bit of who in the world is Geoffrey and what are you up to?
Got it. So who is Geoffrey? Geoffrey is referred to as a business growth specialist by his clients, and he's also a published author. I spend time helping a myriad of companies improve their profitability and their overall operations. I'm also a family man, 2 adult children, married to a wonderful wife, Julie, and live in the Texas area, not too far from Mr. Scott.
There you go.
Yeah, we're about 90 minutes apart.
Say it again?
Yeah, we're about 90 minutes apart.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're in the Dallas area.
Yes.
So the funny thing is people go like, well, how far is it to Dallas? And it's like, well, it depends where in Dallas. North, south, east, west, downtown. Where are you at?
I am in the North Richland Hills area, just north of Fort Worth. Okay. And to add to your point about how far am I away from Dallas, it depends on which interstate I go. It's crazy. Yeah. The traffic here is crazy. I can probably get to you faster than Dallas some days.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hear ya.
I do not miss that kind of traffic. Now in Oregon, we don't have a lot of super high traffic areas, but Portland is one of them, and it is crazy. But I understand compared to where my kids lived in Seattle or where my son and daughter-in-law live now in LA, even crazier down there. I can't get far enough away from that to live. I don't mind visiting, but every day having to drive to work, craziness. So, all right. Well, listen, Geoffrey, I love what you're all about. Let's break it down a little bit more and give people more. I mean, all the things you're doing. Talk a little bit about what your passion is and what drives you every morning when you wake up.
Got it. So my passion is being able to help somebody achieve their goals within their business, especially something that aha, that stumbling block, or that risk that was in their way. I'll give you an example, and I know you guys probably looking for the phenomenal ones, but it's really sometimes it's the small things that really make a huge difference. And I want to hit that because David was small and he knocked out a phenomenal giant Goliath. So one of the things, one of my clients, just one of the ones that I was coaching most recently, that they were having some difficulty with was understanding why folks weren't responding to some messaging they put out. And I said, so what is the message? And they shared it. I'm not going to go into that. But at the end of the day, they were sending a message to the wrong type of people. And then when they started sending it to the right type of people, they weren't addressing the problem of those folks. So getting them just to take the time to say, hey, right people, here's the problem. And then, the solution and what you bring to the table and delivering that and making that offer just the right thing was key for them. Just small little changes like that made a huge difference in their response and conversion rate. So I coach small businesses that are less than 10 million to help them with those types of issues from a operational management, process improvement, profitability standpoint. And we do that type of work without them having to spend additional money in advertising and marketing. So that's one component of my business. I also have some what I would call some innovative tech firms, because they are innovative, that I work with to do referrals for their solutions that are specific to a problem: same day delivery, debt resolution, business process automation, expense management. And then the third component of my business is actual consulting. Well, I'm not coaching, I'm not doing a business referral, but I'm working as part of a team to implement a program or a project that has a key set of deliverables that need to be met to make a client more successful. So that's Geoffrey in a nutshell. I hope that meets the needs.
I like those small things as well, because I was just imagining you're going out for a hike. It's a beautiful spring day. The flowers are out. The bees are buzzing. But you got that little burr in your sock. It's not a big thing, but every time you're thinking about that and you're not focusing on that beauty around you, you stop for a moment, you pull that out. It's a tiny thing, but it makes a world of difference. So small things have an impact. So I applaud you for choosing that. There's a lot of things going on in the economy, and one of the things that are coming up is tariffs. Are they, aren't they, big, little? Do you import? Do you not import? But I believe that within every threat to your business, there is always an opportunity. So specifically in the threats, what I found was that the company Temu stopped advertising. They were 20% of Google's advertising. Google has not lessened the amount of capacity out there, so the prices have dropped significantly. I found by about 2/3. So what kinds of threats are you seeing to businesses, and how can they find opportunities to capitalize?
All right. I love that question. I'm going to walk through a few examples. I can't give away the confidentiality of some people, but I can describe them in their industry. So a compeer of mine is in the handmade products industry, and she is a leader. I'm just going to use her first name, Elise. She's a leader, and she determined that she had already, way before we even got to the tariff issue, determined that it is better to buy as much as possible locally for all the different things that she has to handmade or hand makes, and charge that the little extra price point. But you get the high quality product. You don't have the inventory issues. You don't have the concern about increasing prices over and over again due to tariffs. And she actually, in my most recent discussions with her, she's actually met with or put together a group of other folks that hand make products. And when I say handmade, it could be anything from tables to scarves to windows to doors, but they actually make it via hand versus a major manufacturing floor. And what they have determined is there was a lot of spend in bringing things in before the tariffs even increased. The tariffs make it even more significantly harder. But one of the points you two pointed out is they started taking the time to look local. I don't want to say local US, but actually local closer to them, and found companies that they had not even spent any time thinking about before. So the tariffs have caused them to be more research oriented, looking for solutions to deliver a great product still at the lowest price point to their consumers because they're committed. And so in that arena, the tariffs has caused more of the creative thinking and what can we do to make the various customers we serve happy. So I just wanted to give her the shout out because she's a main driver. So in that industry, that is one of the things I see going on. Do you want
I want to actually add to that because I love that, and Scott brought this up, in some of the most challenging times we grow the most and we become the most creative. And actually we find the good things that come out of whatever situation is happening instead of focusing on the bad things. So like tariffs, instead of focusing on the bad parts of that, why not be creative and look at the reasons that really help us to kind of hone in and make good things happen and really may not have happened before. Another good example, COVID happened. COVID was horrible, right? A terrible situation, but what amazing things came out of that, like way more online things that are making us more productive, meeting people around the world, like Dr. Geoffrey Webster. I would have never met you had it not been for COVID, because I would have never been driven to do all the things that I've done. And that really sparked that. So talk more to that, because I think people get stuck in the negative instead of looking at the positive.
So I'm going to speak to analysis paralysis. So going to the next set of people that I've talked to, they are extremely concerned about the tariffs. And I understand that they import more. But what I'm seeing them do now is analyze. This is what this is going to cost. I can't do this. We don't have enough time to build a manufacturing facility here that can make this. I can't find anybody that says cheap. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then they go back and they just keep redoing the analysis. And some of that is due to what's coming out from the current administration. And so the conversation has been, we can keep analyzing if the tariff is going to be this high or this low, or we can look at what are other ways to potentially source, whether it's local, or what are other things that you sell that you may need to take advantage of from a cross-selling or bundling standpoint, or even downselling in some cases, to be able to continue to grow your business and stay viable. Because focusing predominantly on coming up with doing an analysis and analyzing, but not doing a solution, you feel crippled. And so giving people guidance to move, as you stated, Russ, into what else we can do has allowed them to come up with some other ideas. Matter of fact, one of them said, you know what, I never would have thought of creating this other product that doesn't require the ingredients that I was bringing in from elsewhere, because I was so focused on selling this one product too much, and that was my primary product, or I had a large customer that bought that all the time. I was missing out on the fact that I can meet current client needs as well as new clients. So we did come up with a solution for them to create some other products with ingredients that they already had, metal, wire, and it's a big win for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the creative thinking, the creative solutions, and this is really what entrepreneurs are good at. Those smaller businesses, when COVID hit and the lockdowns happened, the large businesses, the global companies, right? They just had cash. They could just weather it. They could just wait it out. Um, the medium-sized companies, they were too big and too slow and too entrenched. But it's these smaller companies, like you say, these 10 million and smaller companies that are able to iterate their products. And I remember there was breweries that started making hand sanitizer during COVID. They're like, you know what? We have components. With just a little tweak, we can create this. And a lot of them gave it away because this was great PR for them, right? It kept their people working. So there are ways to be innovative. And so I love that you bring this up. One of the things is packaging. So even products that are domestically sourced and created often are packaged in offshore product packaging, right? Cups and boxes and things like that. And I think there's different ways to think about this. So what about how do your customers communicate with their customers, their end users, to find out what are they really concerned about?
Love that question. So one of the things that some clients have done is taken the time to establish what I would call forums where they put a message out to their current client base, as well as make it open to the general public where they don't have clients, to say, we want your input. We need your ideas to make sure that we're servicing you appropriately or giving you the right solution to your problem. And them taking the time to do that, they get a lot of good, healthy responses. And then those individuals get pulled into a Zoom or even into a room, and they're presented in a non-aggressive way, non-retaliatory way. It's just, here's a question that we have for you. How would you go about doing this? Or what is it you would like to see in this particular piece? And folks chime away. You go around the room, you take the notes, the video, you thank each one of them. And then once that is done as a sign of appreciation or whatever, they actually may give away a product that people talked about that they wanted, they liked the most, or give them the opportunity to be a part of a design team for the new service, and they're the first one to use it. So everything is a win-win. But I do want to mention a small example. When we talked about creativity, there's a company, and this is a public thing, so I can use their name. It's Weatherspoon. They have a product known as Manuka honey, which gives nutrients to our body to help the immune system. There was an issue that people had trying to carry that with them when they travel. And they came up with a really neat idea. Real small package about the size of your thumb, not even that thick. And it has a perforation in it, but it's sealed. But if you're on the go with children, and this was the big win for them with children, you can crack that pack and squeeze it into their mouth and just throw it away. No need for a spoon, no need for anything. It's so easy. So those are the types of things that come about asking for feedback from folks on what makes their lives better. And those forums, being open to asking a few questions, really listening to the input, aggregating it, and seeing what you can come up with, and including people in future designs, really makes a huge difference in a business sticking around.
Well, and I think that a lot of times, unless we're forced into being more creative, those things don't happen, just like we talked about. And that's why I think so many great things come out of challenges, because you're trying to find a solution to their problem. As my good friend, Dr. D. Scott Smith always says, what is the problem that I can solve for you, right? Well, if there's no problem and everything is fine, honey's going to be in big fat jars that we sell to people, and that's it. And nobody's going to be able to take it with them. And so the whole idea is, when these kind of challenges come, and I had a similar thing at a company here out of Oregon that does fresh produce and berries and all of that. Amazing, amazing things. They do ice cream and shortcakes too that are to die for. But anyway, COVID hit and nobody could go there. They were going to dry up and wither, right? All of their fresh berries were about to produce all of their produce, and it was going to go to waste. Well, somebody came up with creative ideas. Why don't we sell baskets that we can deliver with the fresh produce in it? They made more money over COVID by doing that than they made traditionally people coming to them. So they did better during COVID by just being a little bit of creative instead of rolling over and dying and thinking it's all over. I can't do what I always do, right? So it's just a matter of looking at some little things, little changes that make a big difference, right, Geoffrey?
Absolutely. Little changes make a big difference, as you guys pointed out. And I want to leverage a statement that you guys used earlier. It's taking the time to plug in. Sometimes people a situation happens and they tune out. They turn the switch off. You've got to sit down and plug in. Opportunities are there when challenges are present. And I have a definition that you guys have probably heard. Luck is where opportunity and preparation intersects. You want to have something happen, continue to be constantly learning, prepare yourself, trying new things. I'm going to use me as an example. I've used generative AIs, but I had a colleague yesterday say they use ChatGPT for a lot of stuff all the time. Well, as a professor, I teach as well. I've used it some in academia, but there's a lot of things that are really built out. But for some work that we needed to do in responding to some clients and inquiries and things like that, I have found that in what she showed me, I actually went back and ran ChatGPT to answer some questions for me to help me write the right type of message or think about some things analytically. It's not getting rid of my brain. It's helping me take the time to be able to be more productive and being able to respond in timely manners and consider other options that I don't have. So the point is, stop, think about the situation. And one other thing we've got to do is ask somebody. We don't know everything. I don't know everything. You guys don't know everything. But you can stop and ask somebody for their thoughts and feedbacks. And it's good to get out of yourself so that you can expand yourself to be able to see those things that lead to those new solutions and problem solved.
Well, Scott actually does know everything. At least I think so.
Everything that's knowable by me, I know. At this point, up to this point in time.
Well, Geoffrey, listen, as we wind up today's show, I want you to think about what you really want people to remember from today's discussion, your gold nugget, what you really want them to take away, and then also remind everybody how they get in touch with you, because we definitely want everybody to contact Geoffrey. He is an amazing person, can help you. So take it away.
Got it. The main thing I want them to know is there's one thing. It is be a continuous learner, be willing to change, be coachable. So continuous learning, be willing to change, be coachable, and make a decision. Because if you can do that, you and your business can win. And the way to get in touch with me, I think Russ may flash it on the screen, but here's my website. It's my first name, my last name, .biz, B-I-Z. On there is various services that I offer to businesses, as well as a way to download my current book and as the scheduled consultation times to talk through some potential problems that you have and potential solutions that we can come up with together.
So great. So great. Well, I can't even begin to tell you how much we appreciate you. And I'm telling you, we are all like driving in the same lane. It is amazing the things you do and the thought process. Sometimes such simple little things can make such a huge difference in people's lives. And I think by making a turn here or turn there in their life and their business, they can make a huge impact. And I just appreciate your perspective on that and appreciate you being here today. We're going to say goodbye to you right now, but we're going to have you back again because you got so much great information. But we're going to say goodbye for today, but hang tight in the green room after we do, because we want to chat after. All right.
All right. Thank you. Great to see everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Geoffrey.
Well, fabulous stuff. I tell you, I was just reading a little short about the founder of Dropbox, Drew Houston, and how he created Dropbox because he forgot his thumb drive, his USB drive, to do work while he was commuting. And then he basically sketched it out, but he didn't build the full solution. He kind of created the concept, but then he went and he talked to the people who would use this, his peers who suffered the same problem. And I forget what he had. He had like 75,000 people on the wait list almost instantly. And he didn't even have a product. But what he did is he talked to people and understood the problem. And that's what we heard today from Dr. Geoffrey Webster was talk to your customers and then actually listen to them and iterate your business.
Exactly. Well, and I'm so thankful to the creator of Dropbox because it saved my life so many times. I don't have to worry about things, and it's just sitting there on Dropbox, right? And I can do it from anywhere. So
thank you, Drew Houston.
Yes, and I think all of that is thanks to my son and Mr. D. Scott Smith teaching me those things. So anyway, well, Scott, what pearls of wisdom do you have as we wind the show up today?
Yeah, I'm just going to leverage what Dr. Geoffrey said about being a continuous learner. I read every morning. I read every night, physical books, paper books, because there's something valuable in that. And don't just look at current stuff. Look at some of the older books and go back a century or two even and read some classics. Just get your mind full of information because your amazing brain will pull that stuff together at the time you need it. It might be a problem you have, might be a problem that a peer has, might be a problem that a customer has.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't agree with that more. In fact, when I'm speaking, Scott, just the reading that I do, the quotes that I pull from and learn, and Bible scripture as well, just comes flowing out of me when I'm speaking because I've read it and memorized it a lot of times without even really knowing I memorized it. It just stuck with me, right? And you know me, certain quotes stick with me like glue. And Scott sometimes says, you've said that one way too many times. But you know what? The biggest thing in all of this and how I feel about you, Scott, and how I feel about this community is I care about people and I want to move forward. And John Maxwell says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that has stuck with me forever because people go yada, 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 yada when they're listening to you if it's not really coming from your heart. So all that you do, let it flow from your heart, make things amazing. And I'm just so thankful, Scott, to be here with you every week. And I know that he's thankful too.
I knew he'd make an appearance. I think I'm going to look for another video. And it's the one from Charlie Brown when he's listening to the teachers and it's like, wah, 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 wah. And because that's what people are hearing when you don't care. They are
hearing that. And when you go on too long, and trust me, I know this as a person who goes on too long sometimes. So we're going to cut things off here and say, thanks for being here. This has been an amazing, amazing show. And we're just thankful for Dr. Geoffrey today. Again, please connect with him. All of his information is in the show notes. It's in the comments and you can't miss it. In fact, I'm going to put it right up again. There it is for all of you. So please connect with him today, and you can click on that and go straight to him. Don't forget, this show also converts to audio podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. Please check that out. We appreciate you all. Have a blessed and amazing week. Till next time, see ya and enjoy
the experience.
Woohoo! Almost forgot.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.